the. Yeah. Slow though. Gotta go slow though. Gotta get the. Oh yeah. Ah. Get the little pump going. Hold on. Get the freaking pump going real quick, boy. I stay with these Johns in here so I can hit the. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Ooh. Sound check. Mic check. Can you hear me? Oh man. Can you hear me now? You can hear me better now. Well, on Instagram, I got the Bluetooth in on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. I didn't even fire off TikTok live. It's too many platforms to go live on. I'm not going to hold you. Quick live for Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver signs with the Mets. I think everybody's heard the news by now. Congrats. Congrats to Luke Weaver. Add camera source. I already did that, no? Somebody was like, can you trim your video? Your live doesn't start for the first couple minutes. I'm like, yeah, I do that on purpose to let people get in the live. I do that so people can join the live, no? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Let me see this. Go back to TikTok, not now. Let me quit TikTok Studio. Here is my YouTube camera. I see some people in the chat. I'll get to you in a minute. We'll do a quick live here. Bill is in the chat. What up? Bill says, what's good, bro? You're Chef Mamba. I see you, bro. I know I can count on Pam. Pam saw the muscles. She says, go strong, man. What up, Key? Nah, no Lil Pump in this stream. No Gucci gang. Hey, Count of the Bronx on Twitch. Thanks for pulling up. Hey, Keith, listen to you on WFAN. Just wanted to say, love what you do, man. Got the WFAN, got the WFAN tee on. You know what I mean? You don't got that tee. If you work at WFAN, you got that tee. Personally, really heartbroken about this. Oh man. So let me start. Okay, let me do this. Let me stop playing around. Big Mets fan, but still love the content you put out. It's all fun. If you're a Mets fan at this point, you should be waiting to be like, here goes Keith. What's Keith about to say? Ray, what up, man? What up, Rant? What up, bro? Count is in the house. You can count on that. You're Skinny Mo. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try to fire up some of the stuff from Twitter. I want to talk to you about Tatsuya Imai. I want to talk to you, obviously, about Luke Weaver. I want to talk to you about Cody Bellinger. We'll start with Luke Weaver first. I put out a little video. Today, I was shooting some content in the city. And of course, as I'm waiting for the train, the news breaks. And I'm like, I got to make a video real quick before I go underground. And then, of course, I make the video and I go underground and I can't send it out anyway. But it still hit. It still played. And as you may or may not have heard, Luke Weaver signs with your New York Metropolitans for 2 years and $22 million. And let's pull it up for the people that are on the YouTube chat. I'm not live on TikTok right now. I don't care. I go live now like multiple times a week, day. If you caught it, you caught it. If not, you didn't catch it. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting because I got to get out of here in like, I don't know, 30 minutes. I can go to like 6:15. So let's pull up the graphic and maybe that'll attract some people watching on Twitter, people watching on YouTube, whatever it is. Um, here's the graphic from SNY, courtesy of SNY. Shout out to SNY. I used their graphic today on my video. It's got Luke Weaver screaming with the veins popping out of his neck. They think they're about to get the ferocious jungle cat. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So I'll say this about Luke Weaver, bro. Let me see. Can I move this? Yeah, I'll put myself small there. Okay, thing about Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver was hurt last year. We know that. Luke Weaver had a hamstring injury. I think he had an oblique injury. Luke Weaver was a Cashman fine. Let's go even further back. Luke Weaver was a guy that nobody wanted. Luke Weaver was a guy that Cashman found, as he tends to do, and he brings him to the Bronx, and you know what? It worked. It worked. But you know what? As most Cashman finds turn into pumpkins, so did Luke Weaver, right? What are other, name some other Cashman finds in the chat. Gio Urshela, Mike Tachman, Mike Ford. These guys that Cashman finds, and he's able to get a good performance out of them, right? Luke Voigt, there's power in pinstripes. He'll find these guys, they become Yankees, and they're better players than they were where they were previously. That is Luke Weaver to a T. Luke Weaver to a T is that type of guy. Now, I'll say this. Luke Weaver is also a good guy. Like, I don't want to act like, oh, get the F out of here, because it's not that type of vibe. But Luke Weaver last year, sorry for sneezing. I was probably really loud if you're on Instagram. Sorry for sneezing. Luke Weaver last year, he was cooked, bro. And I made a joke about, we're 12 games better, because Luke Weaver blew like 4 games, 3 games, 4 games. I mean, he blew 2 postseason games. And then you add Devin Williams in like 9, 10, like, it's not crazy to be like, we got 12 wins off of not going to those guys. I know. The math doesn't math. The Yankees aren't going to be 12 games better when the season ends next year. But I love the fact that Boone can't go to these guys. Woo! Like, think about the agita. Think about the sweaty nervousness. Think of the hands on your head in Yankee Stadium like, bro, Luke Weaver's warming up. Oh, they about to go to Devin Williams. David Stearns grew up a Yankee fan. He must have, because he's got this business model of those guys, those are my kind of guys. Those guys, those are the type of guys I want to pay. Not Edwin Diaz, not Pete Alonso. Those former Yankees, as soon as they take off the pinstripes, yup, that's my kind of ball player. Send them down. It's jokes, and we're trolling and we're making fun of Mets fans. It's been a tough month for the Met fan. David Stearns is not your friend. Maybe he'll be your friend one day, but as of right now, he's got to be public enemy number 1. He's got to be lower on the totem pole than Joe Shane out here, because the money that your owner has given him to build the team, he told Brandon Nimmo, take a hike. He brought in Marcus Semien. Edwin Diaz, I know Edwin Diaz didn't want to be a Met, no way, but you're supposed to make him stay at home. He's going to move all the way across the country. You got to lock up one of the best closers, if not the best closer in the game. Okay, whatever. You got Devin Williams before that. Just think about the order of operations here. They signed Devin Williams before Edwin Diaz. And somewhere Juan Soto says he knew that they were going to move on from Pete Alonso. And Pete Alonso is now in the division with the Baltimore Orioles. I see some of you guys going through, I saw Michael Tonkin. Less honking, more Tonkin. Yeah, Michael Tonkin is also a former Met, but that was another Cashman fine that when he first came through, Ryan Yarbrough, like when he first came through, I'm like, bro, like, why are we even going with this guy? If you remember, Michael Tonkin joined the Yankees in Milwaukee against the Brewers 2 years ago, and they pitched Clay Holmes for 1 inning. I think he threw 10 pitches. And then they throw Michael Tonkin in there to blow the game. And Michael Tonkin landed that morning at 2 a.m. He barely knew his teammates. Whatever. That's the stupid stuff that the Yankees do. But yeah, I don't mind the deal, the money. I know the Yankees weren't paying Luke Weaver that money. I know the Yankees weren't going to give him that type of bread. So good for the Mets. And the Met fan is going to spin it and say, we need bullpen help. And you know what the Met fan has to literally bend the knee to? We are the lil bro. We are the B squad. We are beneath you. We took Carlos Mendoza off of your bench. Your bench coach has become our manager. They loved him in year one. Not so much in year two. But that's your man's, right? Craig Counsell didn't want to come be the manager of the Mets. And so David Stearns, who's got a fetish for the Yankee brand, you can't knock it. You can't deny it. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm just reporting the news. He pivots to Carlos Mendoza to be his guy. That's a Yankee guy. That guy learned how to manage under Aaron Boone. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the bat instead of football. So, and we'll get to the chat in a minute. I see people going. I'm just getting my rants off here with Luke Weaver, and then we'll talk about Tatsuya Imai. I see somebody in the Instagram chat goes, Luis Rojas. Okay, let's play that game too. Luis Rojas was your manager. He's not going to ever manage the New York Yankees. He's a third base coach. Do you see the downgrade? I see people putting out there, oh, Paul Blackburn. We had Paul Blackburn as, like, you traded for Paul Blackburn. We had Paul Blackburn as a long man, garbage man, as a mop-up duty back of the bullpen guy. He barely got on the mound for the Yankees. He was terrible, and we knew that. If he dies, he dies. That's how we approach Paul Blackburn. You traded for Paul Blackburn, David Stearns. Who else? Pablo Reyes. Not for long. Pablo Reyes was here today, gone tomorrow. Pablo Reyes was with the Yankees from spring training to, I don't know, June. Oh, let me guess. Carlos Cookie Carrasco. I keep seeing his name pop up. What the Yankees will do, yeah, they'll take a Met player after the stench of the Mets wears off somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Where my sound effects at? Where my sound effects at? After the stench of the Mets wears off somewhere else, yeah, come on down, Marcus Stroman. You're on the north side of Chicago for a little bit. Come on, Ahmed Rosario. You were with the Nats. You were with the Guardians. Yeah, all right, buddy, we'll take you. And you know what? The Yankees are taking a guy like Ahmed Rosario on for 1 year, $2.5 million. It's not the same. You so badly want to be the Yankees, you paid Juan Soto the richest contract in the history of sports just to miss the postseason. God. You paid that man all that money to not even get to see his postseason prowess. Good for you. You beat the Yankees in that regard. We don't want him. We don't need him. That's going to be an overpriced DH in 3-4 seasons. Clay Holmes, his mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay. You made Clay Holmes one of your starters. Is that what they're about to do with Luke Weaver? It's kind of corny, bro. It's super lame. Sloppy seconds, the leftovers, right? You want to be the Yankees so bad. It's kind of crazy. If I'm a Met fan, I hate this regime. If I'm a Met fan, I'm like, yo, we want to be the opposite of them. Fans like Keith McPherson, we hate Keith McPherson and all the bobbleheads and World Series stuff that Keith McPherson. We don't want to be like them. Why are you taking their leftovers? You're embarrassing us. You're embarrassing us. The week that we lost Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz, we thought we were going to get Robert Suarez. Tyler Rogers signs with the Blue Jays. Nobody wants to be here. First base coach that helped Juan Soto steal all those bases goes to Atlanta. All right, let's hit the chat before we talk Yanks. It's too easy to cook the Mets. It's just way too easy. It's way too easy. It's a layup. So I do it. It's easy buckets, easy money, like Kobe said. Let's see. Do. Miller to the Mets. Yeah, what are you guys going to trade for Mason Miller? Give me a break. Yeah, Tarek Skubal too. Let Stearns cook. Stearns is only cooking Steve Cohen's cash flow. You know, his bankroll. You paid Frankie Montas last year. How'd that work out? $34 million down the drain. Should have brought Luis Severino back, another former Yankee that you couldn't wait to have. Harrison Bader, couldn't wait to have. Devin Williams. Like, it ain't the same, bro. We could do this all night, but I don't got all night. So, DLB274 says, LOL Mets. Only the Mets can out-Mets the Mets. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Not mad at him, furious at the outcome. Chris, shout out to Chris. Chris, I know you. I've seen pictures of you with Luke Weaver. And anybody that has got to meet Luke Weaver in the Yankee universe, we loved his personality. We loved how much he cared about the fans. We loved his post-game, pre-game interviews. We loved all that. But when it's over, it's over. When you turn back into a pumpkin, you got to go. And unfortunately, this postseason, against the Red Sox and against the Toronto Blue Jays, Aaron Boone tried to go to Luke Weaver to recreate some type of version of Luke Weaver that just wasn't there anymore. No way are we paying him. If you're not trying to spend that much this offseason, and I told you guys in my video that I put out, don't believe everything you hear about the Yankees. It's Yankees with clicks. Just yesterday, we were on the live stream talking about rumors that the Yankees were interested in Luke Weaver, and I'm like, I hope not. I hope not. For the low, if we must, Cashman. I thought it was going to be a Cashman thing, right? Cashman found him. Cashman wants to keep him. But I'm like, no, there's no point in spending money on a Luke Weaver or a Devin Williams before you land Cody Bellinger. Now, that's the one, Mets fans. That's the one. Go sign Cody Bellinger now so you can get the last laugh. Ha ha. The second best player to judge, back-to-back years, a guy you traded for becomes a free agent, and we steal him from you. Then you can say, oh, nobody wants to be a Yankee anymore. There's no more Yankee mystique. They'd rather play for Steve Cohen and the Mets. That's a joke. That's embarrassing. Like Edwin Diaz told you, I went to join the Dodgers because I want to win at this point in my career. I've been on enough losing, embarrassing Met teams. No mas. Adios. So let's see who else is in here. Count of the Bronx. How about Donnie? Donnie Baseball? Who are we talking about? Which Donnie? Keith, you look more like a shortstop right now than Volpe. I was an outfielder. I play center field. I could go get it, you know, leadoff hitter, center field. But then I stopped playing when I was like 12, 13, Babe Ruth League, and I started to focus on football. But I'm still in shape. Sorry about the caps. You got me going. You got fired up. I thought you meant like my baseball caps or this cap. Let's see here. Dan says, you trying to rile up the Mets fans? Always. This is New York. This is New York. I was out there. Let me pull up the pic. I was out there. It was fun today. I was out there today. You know, this is not me. I was out there today. This is AI. If anybody asks you about this image of me holding the sign, say that ain't real. That ain't even real. That's AI. Say ChatGPT made that. Why do the Mets love Yankees leftovers? LGYM. Let's go Yankee Mets. Keith, do you think we will land Bellinger if he wants to be a Yankee? Why is no one saying sign Luis Arias? Because he's not a big dog like that. He's not a big fish like that. People glaze him for his batting average, but like he's not one of the top guys. He's not one of the top guys. He does one thing. He can hit for average. Like, and now, hey, we need a leadoff hitter. So yeah, but like, nobody's like lining up for Luis Arias. I was saying this yesterday on the stream. I was saying like, other dominoes have to fall. Bigger fish need to be fried. There are free agents like Kyle Tucker that we got to figure out where they're going. Croce says, leave the Mets alone, though. I can't. I can't. Like, do you guys realize I used to never talk about the Mets, and then they put me on WFAN, and they said I had to talk about the Mets, and I'm like, I don't have to talk about the Mets the way the other hosts talk about the Mets, and now I just talk about the Mets is easy money, bro. It's easy money. Especially when, right? Because people are like, oh my God, this guy's obsessed with the Mets. We're talking about players that haven't played a game for the Mets. Luke Weaver was a Yankee the last few years. Devin Williams was a Yankee last year. Same thing we were talking about Soto and Clay Holmes and Severino. And like, Yankee fans can't talk about their former players that last played in the pinstripes. Somebody in the chat repping the Dukes, JMU, we're one day closer. I think they're going to get smoked, but it's going to be fun to watch. All right, let me get through this chat a little bit. Yo, Ryan from Kent. We talked a few weeks ago about JMU. Let's go. Yo, what's up, Ryan? I'm excited for this game against Oregon, but I am not expecting JMU to win. If they compete for the first quarter, I'll be satisfied. I think they could get rolled. I think they could get 40 burgers straight up, you know. Was you humming the Doug song? Yeah, I always do that. I don't do the I think Jeopardy is like do 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 do, and then I go do 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 da 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 da, banging on a trash can. What's up, Keith? What do you see the Yankees doing this offseason? Trying to get Cody Bellinger. And if not, like, I don't see, like, we're going to get to, at 6 o'clock, we'll talk about Tatsuya Imai and Michael King in New York. One of those guys, Cody Bellinger and an arm. And if they can't get Cody Bellinger and they can't get one of those arms, maybe they trade for Freddie Peralta like we were talking about last night. Dre says, are you on TikTok? Nah. TikTok is really more effective, Dre, when you can go on for a long time. Just what I find. Like, I'm going to end this stream at 6:15 and go get my son. It's not even going to be an hour. I sat on TikTok live last night for like 2.5 hours. I actually made $1 off of it. I gained like 50 followers off of it. There was like 13,000 likes. Like, you got to sit there on TikTok live all night, and then their Discover feature will just put people into your feed. Charles says, as a Met fan, I hate all the smack you talk, but when I take fandom out of it, you're 100% right on everything. I'm not saying anything crazy. Like, is Luke Weaver cooked, or was he just hurt? If Luke Weaver can get back to form and not have that flat fastball that gets hit, or his changeup that's in the zone that gets rocked, like, the thing about Luke Weaver is I'm bigger than Luke Weaver. Pause. Like, the thing about Luke Weaver is he's not a big body power pitcher. You know, he's got to really like paint the corners and hit his spots. So he's up there another year in age. You just signed him for 2 years, $11 million a year, and I don't know. He was most effective for us as the closer. Is he going to be a closer for the Mets? I was joking saying they're going to make him a starter. They need starting pitching. Edwin didn't run to the Yankees. The Yankees didn't offer Edwin. The Yankees didn't offer Luke Weaver. The Yankees didn't offer Devin Williams. The Yankees didn't offer Jorge Polanco. They don't want those guys. Future was out there with us. Well, it was really us too. Shout out to Future. My boy Daniel, Yanks 2077. Keith, what's the Yankees' plan for this offseason? They seem a bit quiet. Yeah, they are. Cashman told y'all, bro. Cashman went to the winter meetings to hang out in Orlando for a couple days, just have conversations. He told y'all, like, it was tough. It wasn't productive. They didn't get anything done. Now, I believe that Cody Bellinger is waiting to see what Kyle Tucker gets. The teams rumored for his services are the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Yankees. Tatsuya Imai, I'm going to speak on next. 6 o'clock. The Lone Silencer in here. What's up, Keith? Karan says the Yankees need to do something after Xmas. But Christmas Eve is in a week. They still got about a week to do something. You know, and I bet you there's some players. There's always players. Like, I remember last year talking about Christian Walker, and he signed, and then I knew the Yankees were going to get Paul Goldschmidt. I think he signed on like December 20th, and I was like, I guarantee you he wanted to be signed before Christmas. And so the Yankees were out on him, and they didn't need him. All right, one more. Anthony hit us with the What it do, Mr. Stay Down till you come up. Talk that ish, man. Mets are a joke, but let's be real. The Yankees need to make a few more moves before the division passes us. Mets are still little brother. We need to focus on us. I'm not subscribing to this whole theory that the Yankees, even though I think the Yankees are mid right now, I'm not subscribing to this whole theory that because Pete Alonso and Taylor Ward are with the Orioles, that the Orioles are all of a sudden, who's pitching for them? Or Sonny Gray going to the Red Sox. Now the Red Sox, or Dylan Cease going to, Dylan Cease, Tyler Rogers going to the Blue Jays. Yeah, they're making moves, but the Yankees shot themselves. And did you guys not watch last season? Judge was hurt for a month. And they shot themselves in the foot with their own pitching decisions, bro. They pitched Carlos Carrasco. They pitched Marcus Stroman. They pulled Luke Weaver and Devin Williams out of the bullpen in close games thinking that those guys were legit, thinking that those guys were elite. And they gave it up over and over again. They put Anthony Volpe on the field with a bad shoulder. They forced Anthony Volpe to play with a bum shoulder all year. He sucked. And I root for the kid. But why would you make the kid play if he's hurt? The Yankees, the Yankees did it to themselves. And yet and still they had the most amount of wins in the American League. So I'm not subscribing to this whole thing about the Yankees are, the division's passing them by. They're going to be a fourth place team in the AL East. When? In what reality? It's not going to happen. Judge is still there. You know what I'm saying? Do they need more than Judge? Of course. But they have the MVP. They have the best player in the game. Okay, 6 o'clock, I said we were going to hit the Tatsuya Imai talk. Here it is. So from Cubs Zone on Twitter, the Cubs and the Yankees are expected to be finalists to sign Tatsuya Imai. Is this Yankees for clicks? When I think about the Cubs and I think about the Yankees, both are postseason teams. Both were in the postseason. Both are like legacy franchises with good cultures that spend money and they have diehard fans, and they're both good destinations. Now, when we talk about Japanese players, a lot of conversation comes up about the travel home, right? The flight home. Chicago and New York are 2 hours from each other in the air. It ain't that much of a difference. But you know what I think is going to make the difference? Sorry, my wife is texting me, and I got to go get my son soon, but we're good. You know what makes the difference? Excuse me. Other Japanese players. So, what Japanese players are currently on the Yankees active roster, folks? It's been a long time. I was a big Hiroki Kuroda guy. I was a big Hideki Matsui guy. I was a big Ichiro guy. I was a big Masahiro Tanaka guy. And right now, the Yankees do not have that Japanese presence. Obviously, the Dodgers do. The Padres do. The San Francisco Giants do. But when I think about right now, who can hit up Tatsuya Imai or already has talked to him, I think the Cubs have a leg up with Seiya Suzuki and Shota Imanaga. No? Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Right? New York sucks. It is cold. It is rainy in the baseball season. I mean, Chicago's cold. And it's windy and it's the same thing. But it depends on the numbers. And if the Yankees get outbid by the Cubs and Tatsuya Imai has a connection to, I haven't even looked it up. Let's see. Who is Tatsuya Imai's agent? Is it Boris? Tatsuya Imai's agent. And obviously, Cashman said he wants to get back in that game. It is Boris. Bro, so to get Tatsuya Imai, you got to talk to baseball's Bond villain, Scott Boras. And he's going to go to the highest bidder. And if the Yankees aren't willing to pay a pitcher who's never pitched in Major League Baseball a certain amount of money, he's not going to sign with the Yankees just to get a chance to meet Mariano Rivera at Old Timers Day. Like, that's not going to do it for him. Now, Tanaka could Hey, how's it going, buddy? I love my time there. Yeah, 19 or 18 is available. Ryan McMahon's wearing 19, but number 18 is available for you. You know, in the Japanese culture, that's like the number for their ace. That's the number that they reserve for their ace. If you remember, that number 18 was there for Yamamoto. Damn, we should have paid Yamamoto everything. We should have gave him the bag. But you know what they were saying then? He hasn't thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball. We're not going to pay him more than Garrett Cole. So just my thoughts there quickly on, Seiya Suzuki, who is a RBI machine, and Shota Imanaga, another pitcher, might tell him like, hey, bro, we got the north side of Chicago on lock. We know all the spots. We're set up good here. You come join us. Come join PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. And what if the Cubs bring back Kyle Tucker? Like, you want to win? Like they play in the Central. So you're playing against the Pirates. You're playing against the Cincinnati Reds, who are better than the Mets. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Like, the Mets actually, but like forever, the Mets lost their postseason spot to the Cincinnati Reds. You gotta be high. All right, let me see who's in the chat. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Marcus Blackman. Appreciate you pulling up, Marcus. I remember you being in some of the old lives on YouTube. Good to see you in here. If Williams would have won one of those 9 games, that's what I'm saying. I used the number 12 because I can remember 9 games. I was on WFAN saying, like, I had a Devin Williams blown game counter. They let him blow 3 in 1 week, that first week of August, from the Texas Rangers series down there in Globe Life to the Astros series in Yankee Stadium. That's when I was done. That's when I got off the ride. That's when I knew we weren't winning a damn thing. And then, Luke Weaver, I posted the homer of Jeff McNeil, second deck in Citi Field off him. I know you guys remember George Springer taking him deep. He sucked against the Dodgers. Like, bro. No mas for me. I hate when you're right about us. And last year, hey, I'm just telling you what I think. I'm just telling you what I think I know. And when the Mets are good, I don't hate the Mets. These are my Mets. You know what I'm saying? I've never paid attention to the Mets more. When I was a kid growing up, I used to skip right over S&Y. Not watching that blue and orange stuff. I hadn't been to Citi Field. I didn't go to Citi Field until I was like 30. I was a grown-ass man the first time I ever even... And I didn't even pay for the tickets. I was working at Fubo TV. We got opening day tickets. I was like... I literally went for work. I was with the people from Fubo TV. And until this past year, I had been to Dodger Stadium more than Citi Field. I don't go over there, bro. It's not for me over there, bro. It's a cool ballpark, good vibe, whatever. And shout out to the Mets. They made my son's dreams come true. He met Blippi, and he don't even watch Blippi like that anymore. We just listen to the Garbage Truck song and Fire Truck song. But yeah, I go to Yankee Stadium. I'm a Yankee fan, clearly. Future says, Imai has said that he doesn't want other Japanese players on the team already. Bro, that's what Roki Sasaki said. They lie. They lie. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he signs with the Dodgers. The Dodgers have enough pitching, but they lie. Imai is a Tanaka lover. Yeah, but they said the same thing about Yamamoto. I'm a Tanaka lover. Like, who doesn't like Masahiro Tanaka? The Golden Eagles. All this talk, there will not be a season in 27. You're right about that. Enjoy the rest of the baseball that you can get. We're under a year. December 1st, 2026, it's a wrap, bro. Like, December 1st, 2026, I might pick up the WNBA. I'm not even gonna hold you. I might be on stream talking about the New York Liberty. They can have Cinderella. That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it, right? Because I used the phrase "turn back into a pumpkin." And I think that comes from Cinderella's carriage turning back to a pumpkin at midnight. Like, I think now Luke Weaver and, hey, I don't know, maybe Jeremy Hefner's pitching lab can fix him. Oh, that's right. They don't have Jeremy Hefner anymore. Maybe David Stern's laboratory can fix him. But it's just like 2 things. To pass on your actual Mets that are like the fan favorites and the best players on your team to pay Yankee leftovers, cast-offs that the Yankees are like, we're good, we've seen enough. Like that, to me, if I'm a Met fan, I hate y'all. If I'm a Met fan, I hate y'all. You're embarrassing us. Like, if I'm a Met fan, it's like, bro, like you make the jokes. The jokes on the Mets the last 2 weeks have written themselves. I don't even be prepared for them. Like I said, today I was getting on the train. I'm like, hold on. That video took me one take. I didn't even need to say much. Little bro Mets have an infatuation with big bro Yankees. They're not beating the allegations. They're not beating the allegations of being the B squad little bro wanting to be the Yankees. Like the joke now, I heard Michael Kay say, well, if it doesn't work out for David Bednar, we know where he'll land. That is now the case for any player that the Yankees have. Any player that the Yankees have that it doesn't work out in the Bronx, you can stay in New York. You can stay right here in New York and just, keep your apartment and leave a little bit earlier so you can get to Queens. All right. I'm wrapping this up in 5 minutes. Little brother type rocking our hand-me-downs. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's the weird energy, bro. The Mets are the dude that is lurking on your girl's Instagram page waiting for you to remove all her pictures of you. The Mets are the dude that is like, damn, that girl fine. She would look better with me, though. The Mets are the dude that's like, he can't love you like I can. Well, as soon as he done hitting it, you should give me a chance. Goofies. They some goofies, bro. They wow, bro. The Mets trip me out, bro. Yo, it's hilarious, man. John says, glad you're doing this online. Miss you on the fan. Shout out to the fan, though. Honestly, I'm made for video. I'm made for online. I'm made for where we are in modern day technology. And I think that's a good way to maybe close this. Like when I went to school for radio and television, I couldn't imagine where we are now. Today I was talking about Netflix, and I've been talking about Netflix because I used to work at Retro Fitness. I worked at Retro Fitness like 2014, 15. And when I worked at Retro Fitness, that's when I first heard of Netflix. Netflix used to send us DVDs because at Retro Fitness, we would play old school movies like The Goonies or Indiana Jones, or you know what I'm saying? Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So they would send us these old DVDs of these throwback movies. And part of the theme at Retro Fitness was that, like, when I would open the gym, you would pick a movie to play, and it would play on some of the TVs, retro movie, Retro Fitness. That is when I first heard of Netflix. Netflix company started off as a mailing service, sending people DVDs to watch. And now, let me clip this. And I'm going to bring this all together. I remember the owner, I ended up quitting that job. I remember I wanted to go to the Avenue and party on New Year's Eve or Thanksgiving Eve, and they wouldn't let me get out at the time I wanted to get out. They're like, no, you got to close the gym. And like, you close the gym, you got to stay there for like an extra hour. And I was like, hell no. There's about to be some baddies. We got a bottle. I'm dipping. So I put up a sign like, gym closes at 5 today. And people were showing up to the gym at 5 o'clock, and I'm like, nah, we're closed. We're closed. And they reported it to the management, and the manager was like, you closed the gym at 5 o'clock? I'm like, I told you I was going to the club. So anyway, here is the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is taking their radio show to Netflix. In January, they will stream a show that started off on New York radio, the second hip-hop station, Power 105, Charlemagne the God, who I used to work with at MTV. They will take that show to Netflix. Okay, are you picking up what I'm putting down? I'm assuming most of you sports fans saw the news that Part of My Take is going to Netflix. And for Part of My Take to go to Netflix, it's amazing. Like, that's not even a radio show. That is a podcast by two regular dudes, right? One of them Eric went to JMU, and Big Cat is a dude that pretended to be a Chicago Bears, Chicago sports fan, but really he's from New England. These guys are taking their podcasts, they're very successful podcasts. I'm not knocking the hustle at all. They are taking their podcast to Netflix. I can't find a good graphic of it, but hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down here. Okay, here, this is good. And it's not just them. It's not just them. I'll put this on screen because like you guys need to be up on like sports, media, and business and what is going on. One thing that I've learned from doing these streams lately and just hearing some of the like, I don't know, criticism or things thrown at me, I'm like, damn, I tell my wife and people all the time, I'm like, there are so many people that are just consumers and don't understand the business side of this stuff at all. So 3 Barstool Sports video podcasts. Notice they say video podcast. It's the evolution of the podcast game. When I first started doing podcasts, it was audio only, as most people were doing. The first ever podcast I did was 2015. It was audio only. And now you need to have a full-on set with cameras and lighting and couches and things in the background. And so Barstool now makes that deal. They're exclusively going to be on Netflix. You can't watch them on YouTube. Maybe the old episodes, yeah, but the new episodes are going to be exclusively on Netflix, and Netflix is paying them for this. So you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm getting at? Like, Netflix is now putting work on YouTube's block. Netflix now is saying, okay, we can build out a chat. We can build out a super chat. We can build out memberships. We can, the same way that YouTube put work on their block, as far as YouTube being, used to be more in your phone, your computer, your tablet. Now people are watching YouTube on television sets. Netflix is saying, if you want to do the dance with us, we'll go get all the Ringer podcasts, Barstool podcasts. We've got the Yankees opening day game on Netflix. We're taking everything, and that's all I've got. We can talk more about it. I got to go, but I'm telling you, I'm a student of this stuff. I have studied this stuff. I literally have a college degree in this stuff. Communication, radio and television. I'm watching how the radio and television game is changing, and I'm blessed to be somebody that actually has an audience and actually has a resume and a degree in it. The possibilities are endless. So that's all I've got for y'all, man. You know how I end this. Stay blessed, stay up, and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I'm out.